Spider-Man has been my favorite superhero since I was a young boy. Here he is right here. As a matter of fact, that's a Spider-Man 2 poster from way back in '03 or whatever, whenever that movie came out. But yeah, I'm a big Spidey fan and always have been and probably always will be. Now here's a couple of here's a blast from the past. Here's Spider-Man off the original Xbox Platinum hit. How about Spider-Man 2? Kind of like that poster. It's Doc Ock on it and whatnot. Also a Platinum hit. So I chose for my project, for my game analysis, to pick Marvel Spider-Man. Let's get into it. Well then, let's get right to it. This is Marvel's Spider-Man, designed by Insomniac Games, and Spidey is, of course, a Marvel superhero, Marvel's most famous superhero. Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man, and Sony made the PlayStation 4, and therefore it just made dollars and cents to design this game. The reason why I chose this game is because there's really a lot of agency, a lot of freedom that this game offers you, up to and including the freedom to change what costume you want to wear. And that, as you can see, is Spider-Man 2099. And I'll get more into the Spidey costumes in a second. Spider-Man 2099, by the way, is not Peter Parker. That's a character called Miguel O'Hara. I've been a fan of that character for many, many years, but he recently was introduced into the popular zeitgeist by Oscar Isaac, who voiced him in the animated Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse feature film last year. But what I wanted to focus on in terms of this game is just the freedom to choose what to do and when you want to do it. It reminds me of the Jesse Shell's writing, where there's an image of the rivers and lakes, and then also known as a string of pearls. But we also see this image here beneath the problem number 2 of the combinatorial explosion, where we see a different take, where you can go different directions and do different things, which will ultimately lead you towards the overarching narrative. But that's how I feel about this game. Now, this is an action-adventure game, basically an open-world concept. You get to explore different sections of Manhattan. But my favorite design feature in this game is the costumes. And as you can see, I've switched from the Spider-Man 29 to the default costume, and now the more traditional Spider-Man digs. They even have the Avengers Infinity War suit in this game as well, the one that Tony Stark designed for Peter Parker. And here's the Scarlet Spider. That's another character that's not in this game, Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider. But that's just how much interactivity is available in this game, is the fact that it even lets you choose what you want to wear, which Spider-Man suit you want to wear. And that reminds me of mode 4 of interactivity, which we can see here. We have Salen and Zimmerman, who were talking about under a multivalent model of interactivity. Mode 4 discusses beyond the object interactivity, or participation within the culture of the object. So what I find interesting about this whole suits thing is the fact that, okay, Avengers Infinity War was a massive phenomenon. It came out the same year as this game, 2018. This game has absolutely nothing to do with that world, with the MCU. but that costume, that suit, is added in there for you. And then Ben Riley is not a character in this game, but you get to put on his suit, the Scarlet Spider suit. Same goes for Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099. Has nothing to do whatsoever with this game, but you get to, there's a nod to him and to these different iterations of Spider-Man, a pop culture phenomenon that exists outside of this game. So I really love the way that you're able to choose different suits that you want to wear, and how that just taps you into the greater culture of fandom of Spider-Man, of the Spider-Verse, etc. You know. Now, in terms of the gameplay, it's similar to older Spider-Man games, but the fighting seems more modeled after the wildly successful Arkham series. You interact with your environment by swinging around, you fast travel, fighting bad guys, and finding objectives on the map. Speaking of the map, look at the open world here where Manhattan is divided into different sections, and you get to decide what you want to do in Midtown. For example, everything you see here, every icon on the screen, Greenwich Village right there, is different things you could do. So here, I decided to turn my attention, as opposed to going towards the big yellow icon, which is the primary objective, to this side objective here. There's some bad guys that have stolen a vehicle, and that's not going to happen, not on my watch. Take that. And now this guy, out you go. So now the vehicle has no driver. It has to be stopped, and boom, Spider-Man saves the day. So this is some gameplay footage right here. Now these Sable agents are going to be a stick in my cross, so I'm going to have to fight with them. So the fighting mechanics are fairly similar to the Arkham series. And look at that. You can even pull the turret off of their vehicle and throw it at them. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm a little rusty. It's been a while since I've played the game, and I've yet to beat it. Uh-oh. Things aren't looking good. Oh, no. Well, the Sable agents got the better of me. But this does seem like a good opportunity to discuss some of the things that we can see that this game offers in terms of the narrative, the story of the game. Now, this game is very much a superhero game. Obviously, Spider-Man is a superhero, and a game about him is going to be that way. But you know how the saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. And in this game, Spidey has to be Spidey, as well as Peter in the lab and helping Aunt May in the shelter. So there's a lot of ways that not only Spider-Man, but Peter Parker himself is a hero in this game. And that brings me to Lens 68, The Hero's Journey. This was another concept introduced, the storytelling concept that was introduced by Shell. And Spider-Man has suffered a lot of tragedy. And in this game, spoiler alert, if you haven't played it, please don't listen any further, but or at least for the next couple seconds, but you see Miles Morales' father pass away in this game. That's something that happens in the story. So you see how the heroism of Peter being there for Miles, being there for his aunt, being in a lab coat when he has to, but and yet having to fight all these bad guys. So the way the story unfolds is definitely the hero's journey, and it contains a lot of those elements. In terms of how this game makes you feel, there's a famous IGN review of the game that says it makes you feel like Spider-Man, and it actually even became a meme. And it really does. This game really does make you feel like Spider-Man, and I really feel like I got to control what I wanted to do and when and how I wanted to do it. So even, for example, after going through this primary objective here, it offers you a lot of freedom of what you want to do. You don't need to even go to the primary objective. You can steadily keep on doing side objectives, side missions. Heck, you could walk around through Central Park as if you were a tourist in Manhattan if you wanted to. But even ultimately, when you are doing the main objective, it gives you options. Yuri says, do you want to go fight Rhino or do you want to go fight Electro? So in this case, I'm choosing Electro. So the experience of this game is, it makes you feel like Spider-Man. Much like Arkham Knight, for instance, it makes me feel like Batman, getting to explore Gotham City. Well, this game lets me explore Manhattan as Spider-Man. I could swing through the skyscrapers, through the buildings. I can fast travel to Central Park. I can put on any costume that I desire to put on, and you collect them as the game progresses, and it's such a rewarding thing to be able to be any kind of version of Spider-Man. I love Avengers Infinity War, so I'm like, I want to put on the Infinity War suit. So how does the game make me feel as a Spider-Man fan? Very gratified, very rewarded for my Spider-Man fandom, because I know who the Scarlet Spider Ben Reilly is. I know who Miguel O'Hara is. I mean, everyone else does too as well after the newest movie came out. But I loved Infinity War, so they reward you. I mean, I can't get over just how much I enjoy the costume things in this game, that element. But all in all, it's a fantastic game. It really is. And I've yet to play the Spider-Man Miles Morales or Spider-Man 2, but I look forward to getting to those once I finish beating this one. I don't have a lot left, but it's an excellent game, and I'm glad I played it.
Wow, bet you that's the first time anyone has said those particular words in that particular order. Police are free, but demons aren't backing down. Need to lend a hand.